Greetings metalheads, welcome to another edition of the Friday the 13th YouTube channel. Thank you for those who have subscribed. If you haven't, please do, it's free. Please like, comment, share on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So, what have we got in store for you today? This is an interview that I did with Sacred Reich back in 1988 when the album released the first album, Ignorance, which is an absolute amazing album. We all know it's such a great album, very powerful debut. So this interview was done with Greg Hall on the tour for Ignorance when they played the UK back in 1988. I was only 18 years old. Support band for this tour was Forbidden. What a hell of a concert. If you actually saw this tour, you'd know how powerful and how great the tour was. So, please take it for what it is. Enjoy, share on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like, thumbs up, comment, much appreciate it. So, stay safe, stay metal, and thanks for watching and listening. Stay metal, metalheads. Be safe.
It was Sacred Reich with Greg. Right. First of all, Greg, could you tell me when the band formed and who formed Sacred Reich?
Jason is the only original member left, and the old Sacred Reich was about five years ago, Wiley? It was like about 5 years ago, and then they got rid of their drummer and got me, and we jammed for a little while like that with another bass player and a singer and a different lead guitarist. And then we got rid of the bass player and got Phil, and we kept the singer and the other lead guitarist, and then we decided that the singer sucked, so we got rid of him. And then our lead guitarist quit, and we did the demo, but yeah, whatever.
You got any left?
Well, then why don't you come over here and do this with me?
Just because that's the only part you get. You always mess up and the rest of you do just fine.
Well, whatever. Anyway.
Right.
And then Wiley's going to finish the interview because he knows all the answers.
I'll do it with you if you'd like.
I really would. But then our lead guitarist joined the Navy, and I went over to Wiley's house and asked him if he wanted to jam with us, and he was kind of like, "What? Sacred Reich?" But he did, and he liked it. And
yeah, we played a show with them, or I played my first show with them. I forget the date, but it was with Liege Lord at the Mason Jar. Which
I like
is,
them.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Vince is it?
Yeah,
Bass player.
They're a bunch of great fucking guys.
Say hi to him if you see him for us.
Oh, great.
Could you tell me what other names you had before Sacred Reich?
Me and Greg played in like a semi-glam band called Arch Rival, and we did like Scorpions and Dokken cover tunes and Rat cover tunes.
And then we were in another band called Cranium Vex.
Yeah, that was
cool.
cool.
It was like Queensryche type music. It was really
That was
good.
really cool. Yeah, we did some cool shit with that band.
If we could have found a singer, it would have
stuff.
been cool.
Yeah.
We never could.
Could you tell me what names you had then before Sacred Reich? What names you was thinking of before you actually picked the name?
When we joined the band, it was already
Sacred Reich when we joined the band.
What made you want us to be a crossover band?
What made us want to be a crossover band?
Yeah.
It's the first time we've been titled one. I don't know. Are we a crossover band?
Are we a crossover
Well, that's
band?
what the press are classing you as.
We class ourselves as a thrash metal band.
Yeah.
And what makes us want to be that way is we have a lethal message in most of our songs, you know, be it politics or even like new stuff like love, hate, stuff that we take, you know, we're sincere about. And we figure when you have an aggressive statement, what better music than thrash metal? Because it's an aggressive music and people can't laugh at you when you're in their face growling.
Right.
So I think it's a great medium to spread the word on because it's aggressive. Yeah. We have an aggressive statement to make.
Why Sacred Reich and what does it mean?
Right. It started out, the name was a street gang in Los Angeles, and a friend of ours named Alexis was in the gang and used to hang with these people, and he brought it kind of back to Phoenix, and Jason liked the name, and he started using it for the band name before we were in the band, but basically over a period of time it's become like a sarcastic, Sacred Reich. Yeah, right, like Hitler was sacred, it's like a total sarcasm.
It's like it represents what happens when people are apathetic and let people like Hitler rise to power. It's like he misled them to believe that he was helping them, but really, he was behind closed doors plotting the destruction of the world, he was trying to master, the Aryan race and the whole white supremacy thing. So it's just to call that sacred is to... It's like it's a big sarcastic exaggeration. Sacred Reich. Yeah. It's like a grim reminder. It's symbolic of something terrible that's happened.
Right. Could you tell me what your influences are?
Yeah.
Each individual will tell you a lot of different stuff.
I grew up listening to Rush and The Who and just lots of drum-oriented music. Because I'm a drummer. Like Wiley listened to Randy Rhoads and a lot of guitar-influenced stuff.
But you'll catch us now listening to things like, well, I think all the band can kind of listen to the same stuff in like
Chili Peppers.
Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers,
like
Living
that.
Color.
Yeah,
Living
Jane's
Color.
Addiction. I love them. I like a lot
All
of
that
different
stuff.
music, you know.
Even down to like Motown, Stevie Wonder stuff. I mean, you'd be really surprised when you hear us playing. It seems like since we used to listen to a lot of thrash, like pre-Ignorance days, right after we did the Draining Your Life demo.
Yeah.
It's like we were all thrash heads. We all listened to Slayer and just Exodus and Anthrax. And now that we've been writing a lot of music and finally doing records, we get so bored with it. You go on tour, not bored with it because we love being on stage.
They like to listen to
Yeah,
something else.
it's nice
because
to
you
sit
need
down.
a fresh source to take
like
things
me.
from, and
I
if
can
you
listen
listen,
to thrash all the time.
yeah, like if you listen to thrash music all the time, then you go to practice and play thrash, then you go on tour and you play thrash, and it's like your whole world's thrash.
You leave.
Then pretty soon you're stuck in this fucking rut, and you can never do anything else, So like you need to listen, I think, to other things, I put on classical albums sometimes, like Wagner and shit, and fucking just sit back and listen to all this rad shit and wonder, like all kinds. I'm just fascinated with music in general. And music is it's a real weird thing, it can touch you really
It can be
weird.
so different,
So I think it's really stupid for people that are closed-minded about music. Like I run into people that are like, well, thrash music is the best and fucking poser music sucks. Well, that's maybe your opinion and you have your right to that opinion, but at the same time you have to respect fucking Bon Jovi and Motley Crue because they're huge. And they do a lot of cool shit, and they're still around, and they sell millions of fucking records.
It's like, I hate it when people get down on poser bands because there's so many talented musicians, not to put down thrash metal, because today you have people like Alex from Testament and Glenn from Forbidden. They're just outrageous fucking players. And fucking, it used to be a cop-out to play thrash music. And people, I hate it when they put down, glam rock, if you will, because there are a lot of talented musicians, and I think that you'll find most of your better players in thrash music at one time had an inspiration from your so-called, quote-unquote glam type players, because they're all into their theory, they're all into notation, they're all into technique, and they're great fucking players. And the players in thrash, I can't talk for any of them, but it seems to me the ones I have met have a background where they were playing stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems when thrash was coming on the scene, people looked at it like, oh, these fucking cheese balls couldn't do anything, they're just a bunch of shit, it's just a bunch of shit and noise. And then later on, people started recognizing thrash musicians as competent musicians and didn't just look at them as fucking a bunch of bozos up there making a bunch of strange music. And I think the more, like you said, like Glenn is a fucking outrageous player, and like I have no doubt in my mind that he could play just about any style of music, and that's where the other thing comes in about listening to other music too. And I think that's what's making thrash music so big, and it's just getting bigger and bigger because people are wanting to be better musicians in thrash rather than settling for and they just want to fucking write quality music. That's what we want to do, like our next album, it's going to be a few months before it's out, and everyone keeps asking, when's it going to be out, Well, like late November or early January, because we don't want to put it out during Christmas because it's a real heavy time and it's not good to put out things then. People are spending money on other things, and anyway, just for the business part, it's not good to put an album out during that time. But we'd like to do it as soon as we can, but we want to make sure that it's a good album, and we want to take our time. So we hope everyone's patient with us and doesn't forget about us, because we are coming back with another album. It's just going to, as the point is when, we don't know when, but it'll be here, and we have 5 songs written, so I don't think it's going to be much longer.
Could you tell me, do you all work for a living?
No, none of us. But at the same time, we should. I'm not going to, make it sound like we make a lot of money off this, but...
So, could you tell me how many demos you've done?
We did one demo entitled Draining You of Life, and then we did the Ignorance for the Metal Massacre. It was kind of like a demo. It wasn't a real like a demo that was released, but we only did one demo.
Right. Could you tell me how many it sold and what songs were on them?
I don't know how many. Jason, about how many did we sell the demo?
free.
About 400 copies.
Yeah.
And it had Draining You of Life, No Believers, Sacred Reich, and Rest in Peace.
Can I add something just real quick? The demo, the reason it was so less, wasn't that many copies, is because even before we released the demo, we knew that we were going to be signing with Metal Blade.
Yeah.
So we did the Metal Massacre, and then soon after Ignorance. That's why we didn't do many of the demos.
Alright, cheers. What other record companies approached you before Metal Blade Road?
No one really.
There was talk of Combat, but I think we knew right
And
from
I
the
think
beginning.
New Renaissance talked about it, but
That's San Bernardino ones, then, isn't
it
it?
wasn't anything where we went, hey, you know, nothing
Yeah.
really made. Metal Blade seemed really interested in us at the time, and we were really interested in just getting signed, basically. And, you know, we
Turned out
did
to
it.
be a good move.
Yeah, it was really cool.
What made you choose Metal Blade Road?
Well, I don't know so much that we choose
They
them,
offered
but
us.
they
They
choose
chose us, and we were more than
And-
happy.
Yeah.
Flotsam turned the label on to us, which, you know, we think we have a lot. We owe them a lot for that.
Sure.
Because they had been signed at the time, and we did the demo, and they turned Metal Blade onto the demo, which in turn led to the contract, which is really cool. You know?
No problem, buddy.
Could you tell me a bit about your first LP, Ignorance? Why Ignorance and Ignorance? And what's the person on the front cover?
Symbolic of the whole hostage things that was going on at the time with the terrorism and the head, you know, with the blindfold,
Yeah.
symbolic of the hostage with the exploding airplane in the back, and the America flag to back it all up, just to show things are fucked.
If you ever saw the inner
Yeah.
sleeve of the album,
Yeah.
it's got that little collage picture in
Black
there.
and white
Well,
one.
that was originally the first cover, and if you look at that, it basically shows you everything
Yeah, the
that you
ignorance
can
of the
think.
world.
Yeah, it's just ignorances in the world. And
It represents everything from what, like police brutality with the cops at the billy clubs, the space shuttle exploding,
abortion,
Abortion,
and, you know,
teenage
Ronald
overdose.
Reagan with devil horns, and
TV
it's just-
evangelists with, you know, dollar signs in their eyes preaching in the name of God. Just all the fucked up things that are happening. Ignorance of the world.
Right.
shut that thing up there.
Who does your covers?
Paul
Paul
Stotler.
Stotler.
What covers has he done before yours?
None.
No. So he's just a Sacred Right t-shirt.
Yeah, he
Tattoo
grew up with
artist
us.
also.
We all grew up together, went to the same high school. It's pretty neat that we all ended
And he
up-
has a band called Dismember. They're from Phoenix, and they're pretty cool.
Right, that's send me a demo.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, how many copies of Ignorance have you sold? Why has it took so long to get it released on CD?
I don't know that. I don't really know. It's some record
released
label
in the-
politics thing.
In
you know?
the States, it was released on CD and cassette the same day.
Yeah, immediately it was. I think it sold 45,000
In the
copies.
States.
Right.
What's it look like?
Oh, all over. I think
Alright.
that's a combination of all. I'm not quite sure though.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a sales report.
That's Phil's.
Could you tell me a bit about Safe Nicaragua? Why the title? And what's the soldier on the front?
That's OD.
Is it a piss
That's-
stick? Is
That's
it?
OD. That
Our
stands
Dude.
for Our Dude. And Surf Nicaragua is just kind of like a lighter, funnier look at a real serious
So it's taking
subject.
the piss. Taking the
Sorry.
piss.
The what?
Is it taking the mick? The piss?
No, I don't understand. It's like sugarcoating a touchy subject. Like
Yeah,
when you
like-
have that gnarly sore throat. Because with the Ignorance album, people tended to think that we sounded stale or preachy because we were only pointing out the bad things in the world and we were just shouting them out, ah, ah. So this time we kind of like sugarcoated a touchy subject. Like when you have that terrible sore throat, you drink that terrible cough medicine, but if you chase it with a teaspoon of sugar,
Yeah.
you get the effect of the medicine, but it tastes better. Well, here's a touchy subject with, you know, the whole Nicaragua thing. And instead of just being preachy or stale, we, you know, sugar-coated it to make it go down easier.
Right. Could you tell me why you wanted to do a Black Sabbath cover when already so many thrash bands have done Sabbath covers?
Because we wanted to, because we liked the song, and it still has a meaning, and we don't care about all that trendy bullshit.
Yeah.
And
For
we
me-
we don't care if someone go, oh, they did it because we didn't do it because it was trendy.
It's like
we
a tip
did it
of the hat.
because,
A tip of the hat
Yeah.
to a great band who inspired lots of heavy metal players.
and they
I
had a
played
lot
an
to do with
acoustic.
our way we are, you know.
I played an acoustic for like 3 years, and then I heard Black Sabbath and went out and bought an electric guitar and a distortion box. You know, it's like I had to have distortion from then on. And it's like a tip of the hat to someone who inspired us in our, you know, our
We
puppy
did
days.
it for no one but us, you know. We didn't do it because
And
we
as
thought
a
it was...
band for Sabbath, because they
well,
deserve
I mean,
it.
we did it because we wanted to fucking do it. It's a good song.
Right.
It's still heavy today, and it still means something, you know?
Yeah. So, can you tell me how many copies of Safe you've sold so far?
It's around 45.
Is that worldwide?
I believe so.
Right. Are you going to do a video to promote this EP?
No, the next
The
record.
next LP will probably have a video also.
Right. How are you doing in your LP? What's it called? How many tracks will be on it?
The American Way, we're hoping for 10 tracks.
Nice. Could you tell me a bit about each song? Any extra
The
tracks
new
on the
songs?
CD? Yeah. Also the cover. What's the cover like?
You want any of that?
We don't really know what the cover is going to be like yet, because Paul's still putting ideas together with us. And let's see, The American Way is just about how people think America is so great, but it really is fucked up too, you know? I mean, I don't think there is a paradise in this world, but certain people think, oh, America the Beautiful, it's so great, but it's really fucked up, and it's just a song kind of showing that no matter where you are, there's problems, you know, and even in America has its problems, so it's just kind
thinking for the record cover to have the Statue of Liberty a close-up on the face, and if you've ever been there, I don't know, you can climb up into it, and there's like, you know, glass in her crown,
I've seen it.
and like have people like trying to get out. It's like symbolic of how people get so caught up into it.
they get trapped by
prisoners
their
of it.
freedom, you know, it's like, I don't know.
Could you tell me what gig? How many gigs you've done? Where was your first gig and who with?
Oh, wow. First gig was
First gig with me in the band with this lineup was at the Mason Jar in Phoenix, Arizona,
3.5 years ago.
supporting Liege Lord.
And we've done over 350 gigs.
Yeah, have you toured with in your career?
We've never
Motorhead.
toured with any. Well, yeah, we did 4 shows with Motorhead in Germany over Christmas and New Year's, and
Atrophy and Forbidden.
we toured the United States with Atrophy for 2 months, and now we did a full extensive European tour with Forbidden, and we've played with Megadeth and DRI, Dark Angel.
but not tours. This is supporting acts.
Yeah,
at
just
home.
supporting acts at different shows. We've played with a lot of people.
Where would you like to tour with? Who would you like to tour with?
Metallica.
Metallica. And where?
The whole
States
fucking
and Europe
world.
and Japan.
We want to tour the world with Metallica.
Yeah.
We know it would never happen. Well, you never know. It could, but I don't know, man. We just want to play, you know. I don't really. I
Could you
just
tell
wanna
me? I understand that Kerry King played with you. Where was
play. Yeah,
that?
he's a good friend of mine. All of ours, actually. But
Also, Jason Newsted. How did that come around?
he's
No,
a
that's
good
true.
friend of ours too. Phil was hospitalized the night of one of our shows because of his asthma, and Kerry King was in Phoenix hanging out with me.
So was Jason Newsted.
And Jason Newsted had just came in for a wedding or something, and we
Called
didn't
him
want
up.
to cancel the show, so he said, you know, if I can help. And we said, yeah, you want to learn a couple songs together with me and Kerry and the band and everybody, and we'll just do these couple songs. He goes, fuck yeah. So we played For Whom the Bell Tolls, Black Magic,
Ignorance.
Whiplash.
Sacred Ritalica, Whiplash.
Yeah, it was called Sacred Ritalica because it was like, it was fucking hot though, man. It was really cool.
Right. You just done the Minia Festival. How did it go?
It was intense.
Is it your first time in Europe and UK? Is it the first time you've been to the UK and Europe?
Yeah.
Right. So when do your fans expect to see a new album?
Late November, early January.
Nice.
I have tonight's in my hand.
What do you all do in your spare time?
I recently just got into bike riding,
Yeah,
and
me and Greg go for mountain cruises. That's a great time. I enjoy BB guns, playing with my cats.
like
got a couple dogs.
Nintendo. I just like hanging out with my friends and doing shit, you know? I don't know. We don't do much.
We don't
Me and
work.
Wiley get together and bike ride and shit.
Good time.
Right. Have you got anything to say to your fans before listening to your finishes?
I'm
Your
sorry?
support kills. We wouldn't be anywhere without you.
Yeah, well, thanks, man, to everybody.
And thanks for reading this. It's a super fucking magazine.
Right. Cheers.